like how you guys are all on your weird edge. You don't know where I'm going. You're a little afraid. You're stuck to some weird beliefs that you have. But loosen up, okay? It's Saturday. I'm not saying anything crazy.
Okay, so here's another joke that I'm saying didn't work. It actually kind of did. I enjoyed writing it, and this was the joke that kind of kicked off my weird year of jumping into political jokes, just to see if I could do it. You have to challenge yourself as a comedian every now and then to see if you can do material that you haven't done before. So this joke right here is the first step into that, and then after you hear it, I'll explain my thoughts behind the joke.
We had our chance, man. Laws get passed. Everyone gets pissed. That's what's going to happen. Every law has pissed somebody off, but almost every law was necessary. They had to pass a law to stop drinking and driving, right? They did. You know somebody was really pissed when that happened. Yeah, somebody came home like, Sharon, I can't believe it. We can't drink and drive anymore. How am I going to enjoy traffic without a cold brewski right between my lap? I took the test drunk. I already proved that I could do it. That pissed somebody off. They had to outlaw bestiality, okay? They had to outlaw that. Yeah, and you know somebody was pissed, man. Somebody came home, some sheep farmer, looking at all his sheep, just like, damn it, Sharon, there they are, all of them out there. Man, what am I supposed to do? How am I going to sleep? Count them? That's not going to work.
So what do I think went wrong with this joke? Nothing really, more just a personal choice to not do it anymore. This was the first time I introduced the joke to an audience. I enjoyed the reception of it. I enjoyed the performance of it. I just didn't feel like I wanted to keep doing the joke. I was like, you know what? It doesn't hit as hard as I want it to hit, because every comic really does want to kill. You're like, no, I want every joke to hit hard and I want it to make sense. And there might be some tripping up of the idea because I'm talking about laws, and that kind of makes people uncomfortable, even though it's a goofy thing that I'm saying. And the word bestiality may have thrown some off, like that's an image put in their head. Everything you say puts an image into somebody's head, and it's all on their own imagination to how gross it gets for them. And I realize that some people are just really triggered because their head is very imaginative and they just dive into whatever word you say. I'm different. You know, I can't dive into fiction books because I can't imagine the world that the author is writing. I have to have everything based in reality, so a word doesn't trigger me. I just hear the word, I process the sentence, and I move on. Some people just dive into the imagery of what you're saying, and I don't know if that's necessarily a good or bad thing. I have never understood it. It's kind of like people that get instantly sick when they hear a gross sound. I'm not one of those people. I don't enjoy hearing gross sounds, but I don't put myself in there. I can live beyond it. I can read books or stories and not immediately just get disturbed by the imagery because I understand that it's just written word. But not everybody's like me. People just dive into their imagination and they let it run wild. One of my favorite books is Stephen King's On Writing, right? If you're a writer or if you're any kind of creative who dives into spreading ideas through your words, you should read it. And in the book, he recounts how he was writing a villain. It was a politician that was going door to door, and one house didn't answer, and there was this dog that kept barking, and the politician, the villain in the story, ended up stomping out the dog and killing it. Well, he got tons of complaints from readers saying, how could you do this? That is so wrong of you. I can't believe you put this in a story. Animal abuse is not something to be glorified. And Stephen King's whole point was, yeah, that's exactly why I wrote it. You had to learn that this politician was actually a terrible person. It was key to the villain. And also, none of it's real. It's not real. These people just let their imagination get so warped into their mind that it was reality that they just had to lash out at Stephen King for what he wrote and not taking into consideration that, yeah, no, this is a character development. This is a personality trait that you have to learn about the character so that you learn he is not a good guy, and then you continue with the story. Well, People don't like to continue with the story. People are very nervous and anxious when it comes to what they may not know. That's why people will rewatch sitcoms and movies, because they already know the ending and they're not afraid. That's why previews pretty much give away the entire movie, because it helps people say, you know what, I can go see this movie because I kind of know how it ends. It's not going to be too much of a twist where I invest all of my time into this one character and then all of a sudden he's bad in the end. And in the joke world, it's even more that, because people are trying to figure out your punchline before you say it. And often, a very innocent punchline was made worse in somebody's head because they were preparing for the worst. That's why if you've ever seen comedians go, oh, you owed at that? It's because people expected it to be a grosser punchline. And when it didn't end up being that way, they just shouted out their prepared reaction, because that's how they prepared themselves. They're like, oh, okay, I know where this is going. He's crazy. So I'm just going to be like, oh, instead of just enjoying it and letting the joke continue. And if I really wanted to think about it, I could tell you what made me want to write the joke, and it was literally wanting to just make fun of the fact that people believe counting sheep will help you sleep. I think that's probably where that joke started, and then it just transformed into a joke about laws, which transformed into a joke about other laws, and it was all just to say this stupid punchline about, yeah, what am I gonna do? Count them? That's not gonna work. And that's the fun of performing for me. That's the fun of figuring out a joke. And it was fun. I enjoyed it. I don't know what else could have thrown these people off. Once again, I'm an unknown headliner in this video and now. Maybe it was the bow tie. I wore those for about 3 weeks and I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do the bow tie thing. Maybe it was just the subject matter before. Maybe they were drunk. Maybe it was the fact that they were a Saturday night and they were just going out. There could be so many factors into why certain jokes don't hit hard. Or it could just be it was a good joke. It's not a great joke. It's not a mind-blowing joke. It's just a fun, good joke. And maybe that's the response that it deserved. And I honestly believe that was the response it deserved. And I decided, okay, I wrote it, I said it, which is how I live my life. I think it and I say it. I have to say it, because if I don't say it, then I am doing a disservice. And honestly, a lot of people that get stressed out in life is because they have a lot of thoughts clogged, because they are constantly not saying them. You have to say your thoughts. You have to say how you feel, because you don't want these thoughts festering and then they start melting together and clumping together, and it kind of becomes like that weird syrupy concoction on the bottom of your cup holders inside your car, where you're like, I don't know if this is coffee, soda, condensation, it's just sticky and it's just there and it's terrible and I don't like it. Well, that happens to thoughts. You got to let them out. And thankfully, because I'm a comedian, I get to do that on stage sometimes. And it's just one night, one show, and I say it and I move on. The whole reason to be a comic, a writer, a creative is to explore your thoughts and put them out there. That's the whole reason for it. If you don't do that, then you're not creative. You're not an artist. You're not a writer. You're not diving into your own mind and letting loose. And that's fine if you don't want to do it. You don't have to explore your thoughts. I'm not telling you to do it. I'm just saying that's what I do. And I enjoy what I do. And it was a fun joke, but it was there, and that was it. And that's all I needed from it. It did its job, and it was like, good job, joke. Go on a pasture. You did your job, and one day maybe I'll put you in a video where I break down what I thought about you. And this is probably where the joke will exist, in this video, and that will be all for it. But thank you, joke, for being a part of my life. Thank you to that audience for going along with it. They really did. The ones that got it, got it. The ones that didn't, well, they may have just been freaked out by the bill that they had in front of them, because it was closing time and they had to pay their bill. You know, but it existed in the moment, and that's all you can ask for sometimes with material and performances. They exist in that moment, and then they are gone. I wouldn't doubt almost everybody in that audience has forgotten that I said that joke. So there you go, guys. A joke that kind of didn't work, kind of worked, didn't really care about it anymore. I'll put some more of these up because I have tons of footage, along with jokes that did work and made it to my special and things like that. And you can kind of just get a sense of how somebody just writes and creates. And if this is not for you, I saw somebody comment, hey, don't do that philosophy shit. Well, That's what we do, all right? If you could see all these books behind me, that it's filled with people that just think, and that's how they process their life, and I like doing that. On the top shelf is all my books about, like, Freakonomics and all the Malcolm Gladwell books, and 48 Laws of Power. And then on this shelf, it's all comedians. It's Bill Hicks, it's Carlin, it's Pryor, Carol Burnett. It's just all John Leguizamo. And then on this shelf, it's music, it's rappers, it's RZA, and it's Eminem, and it's Marilyn Manson. That's how I live my life. I explore thought. I continue to explore thought. I love exploring thought. And this is just me exploring my thoughts. I hope you liked it, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye. Oh, and also, that last rant wasn't a diss to that one comment that said, hey man, don't do this philosophy stuff, all right? Don't let your imagination run wild. I'm a ball buster. I'm joking with you, all right? It really isn't that important. I get it. You want to hear some funny jokes, and I'll put them out there. But in that, I hope you went and you saw my special on HBO and on Dry Bar, and have been checking out my videos since the beginning. And when you do that for me, just go give them a thumbs up. Comment. Don't only comment on the videos that you don't want to see. Comment on the videos you want to see. That way I'm like, oh, okay, so they like this joke. Because honestly, I got a lot of videos where jokes are killing and people are like, oh, I love that joke. And then they don't comment. And so in my mind, I'm like, well, I guess it didn't do well. And then I put these videos and I get 5 comments. And that's great for me in a day. 5 comments, All right, guys, bye.